When is Donald Trump going on trial? #verifyErrors. Message. verifyErrors. #verifyErrors. Something went wrong. Please try again later. verifyErrors. Donald Trump's calendar is jam-packed with court dates corresponding to his plentiful criminal indictments and civil lawsuits. The ex-president and his legal team are preparing for a busy year ahead as they attempt to juggle the many trial dates while Mr. Trump continues his campaign for 2024 president. So far, Mr. Trump has been criminally indicted 4 times. 2 of which are on the federal level and 2 are on the state level. This is on top of 2 civil lawsuits the ex-president is involved in New York City. Though Mr. Trump's legal team has continuously pushed judges to delay trial dates until after the 2024 election, nearly all of the dates for his criminal indictments have been set for next spring. The most pressing item on his list right now is his civil trial against New York State, which is kicking off in a Manhattan court on Monday, the 2nd of October. Here are all of the trial dates for Mr. Trump thus far, in a civil lawsuit brought forth by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Mr. Trump and his company, the Trump Organization, are accused of making false or misleading values of assets on financial statements. This trial, overseen by Justice Arthur Engoron, is taking place in New York City. The judge will determine what penalties he will face over his fraudulent business activities after finding last week that Mr. Trump, his adult sons Donald Jr. and Eric, companies and executives overvalued the assets of their company for years. Mr. Trump is set to go to trial, again, against E. Jean Carroll early next year. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than this time. The case will only pertain to Ms. Carroll's allegations that Mr. Trump defamed her in 2019 after she came forward with accusations of rape. Judge Lewis Kaplan will be presiding over the case set to take place in New York City. This trial pertains to the 4 federal criminal counts Mr. Trump was charged with regarding his alleged involvement in trying to overturn the 2020 election results and subsequent January 6 insurrection. Mr. Trump is charged with conspiracy to defraud the U.S., obstruction and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding and conspiracy against rights. The ex-president had pled not guilty to the charges. The case was brought forth by special counsel Jack Smith after a years-long investigation into the attack on the Capitol, which was fueled by the ex-president's false claims of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election. Judge Tanya Chutkan is presiding over the case in Washington, D.C. In April, Mr. Trump became the first sitting or former president to be criminally indicted after being charged with 34 counts pertaining to falsifying business records in Manhattan Criminal Court. The charges stem from an investigation by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg that alleges Mr. Trump tried to cover up hush money payments that he made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels in 2016 to silence her claims of an extramarital affair. At his arraignment, Mr. Trump pled not guilty to all 34 charges. Judge Juan Merchan is presiding over this case in New York City. The ex-president was criminally indicted at the federal level again in June, this time for his alleged mishandling of sensitive government documents that Mr. Trump took with him to his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida after leaving the White House in 2021. Mr. Trump was initially charged on 37 criminal counts, including violating a section of the Espionage Act for allegedly unlawfully retaining top-secret documents that contained national security information. 3 more charges were added to the initial counts in a superseding indictment. Mr. Trump pled not guilty to all 40 charges in total. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than Mr. Trump was indicted alongside 2 of his former aides. Judge Aileen Cannon is presiding over this case in Fort Pierce, Florida. Mr. Trump was also indicted in Fulton County by District Attorney Fani Willis for his alleged involvement in efforts to overturn 2020 election results in Georgia along with 18 co-defendants. The ex-president was charged with violating the RICO Act along with 12 other charges. Mr. Trump and his co-defendants have pled not guilty to all the charges. A trial date for Mr. Trump has not been set yet, but the case is being overseen by Judge Scott McAfee. So far 2 of Mr. Trump's co-defendants, Kenneth Chesbrough and Sidney Powell, have separated their trials from other defendants. They will be headed to trial on the 23rd of October.